Welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to show you 3 different ways you can create like a 3D vase. So the first one is probably kind of like the most advanced, where you use like procedural and parametric ways. So we have this kind of like a vase that's changing color on the fly, and it's actually first of all I can explain the shader. So the shader itself, it's just Blender cycles, and it's changing the color simply by using the noise plug into Voronoi, and I'm using the white noise texture. If I bypass that, we only have this kind of result, but with the white noise we can get like a kind of like a watercolor thanks to into this randomness value. And I can make it a little bit more random that way, or just less random, but I quite like this watercolor look. I think this is pretty cool, pretty advanced, with just a bunch of nodes plug into the base color. We can make it more reflective, etc. While the shapes of geometry itself, it's like a revolve, but I'm actually just using a cylinder. This is one of the parametric nodes in Vertex, where we just use a cylinder. We can change the base and the top part, and simply I'm using vector noise. I can randomize the seed, and also I can randomize the height of this vase very easily using just numbers and parameters. So this might be, this might be your thing, and you might kind of like this, but you might not like it. It depends what you're trying to do. It's all just parameters, and if you want to have more control, you can actually go to something that's kind of like a semi-procedural, like in this case. I'm making like this vase based on the profile of the Queen and also Michael Jackson. I thought that's kind of interesting, but I went too far here. Actually, just if I get rid of some of the craziness. So this is probably less of a parametric or procedural, but I started with just drawing a curve on the Queen and Michael Jackson. Actually, if I try to do that very quickly, we can create like a, okay, let me maybe just use Michael Jackson one. Save as, file, new, general. So this is kind of the second method. You start with a profile photo like this. I think this is an artwork by another 3D artist, and then you create a Bezier curve or something. You go to edit mode, just delete everything, and you start drawing the curve. Try draw. Oops. And just quickly, let's try do it in a single stroke. I'm using my mouse. It's probably faster, better using like a stylus. Yeah, I'm doing my best. So we want to make like a profile for the vase. Okay, this curve give me that, and then I just need to now use the move tool and kind of tidy these areas. Like if we want to have more subdivision, we select 2 and then subdivide, and we have more control. So I rarely use this, but this is can be useful and more precise depending on what you're trying to do. So once you get the profile of your character, it could be your friend or your family, your mom and dad, or brother, sister, or your friends. you can make this for them. Kind of nice to be able to do this. So save this very quickly. MJ profile, and we bring into the other scene. So I have a second profile. This is Michael Jackson's profile, and this is the Queen profile. They're very similar and very not much different. That's very much human, and I can just drag and drop it. I'm using geometry nodes here, by the way, and I've got a lot of things happening here. That's why it's a bit kind of a bit slow. I can get rid of this craziness, like I just remove the randomness for now. So it's just like a profile, kind of revolved. Where's this Bezier curve? Where should I plug this in? There. Okay, it's wrong. Should be this guy. Yep, but I need to rotate it. Let me unplug this. Should have plugged it there. So we have Michael Jackson profile, but it's in reverse, which is this is actually kind of interesting, right? From something like a vase, now we actually have like a, could be like a chair, could be like a nice idea based on Michael Jackson's profile. So it's creating the result in reverse. This is a kind of new idea. We can reverse, I think we can reverse the curve. Doesn't seem to work, or I need to flip it somehow 180 degrees. Now this thing is too big. Let's make it smaller. Okay. Flipping the curve, actually turning it into vase or a chair. Yeah, I quite like this actually. Just gonna save it. So this is like a second way to do that. We have more control with the curve. We can change the profile of curve, you know, you can still resample the curve. You basically revolve it. As for the material, it's just Voronoi. The third method is the most, it's actually, I think the one I like if you want to do it manually. I'm using grease pencil. Okay, grease pencil is really powerful, I think, and I've demonstrated this many times, but I will do it again. So let's say you want to draw a vase. You can use like a face profile, whatever. You're basically just drawing a profile, right? It can be anything. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just draw a profile like that, and you might think, okay, that's like a crazy doodle. Who will draw like that? And it's not precise, whatever. But you can always sculpt it. You can smooth it. You can smooth the grease pencil, which is really powerful features. And you know, this is not like a perfect vase, but it can be like you can like for example also add a thickness. I'm not gonna do that for now. You can use grab, and you can start reshaping your grease pencil curve. It's really up to you how you want to do this. You can zoom out and you can control the shape this way. This is grease pencil, right? And then you right click and you convert it into Bezier. Now it's a curve. So this is the original grease pencil, and now this is a curve, but we're not dealing with curve. We're gonna convert it into mesh. Now this is a mesh, and it's has a lot of resolution there. If you want to have something smoother, you can resample the curve beforehand, but in my case I really just just use Screw, and this is, I think this is quite beautiful. It has a lot of resolutions, I know, but still this is quite something. And you want to merge the end, and you want to solidify. So this is the third method, and we are simply just using like a grease pencil. All the details actually add to the look of your final vase. Once you're happy with it, you can, oh, I forgot to, do I need to merge? Oh, yeah. Need to merge the bottom part, and you have something like this, and you can start, you know, painting, sculpt and painting, vertex paint, or using proper UV and shader. Vertex. Okay. And I think even though this is not procedural, it's not like automated, but this is like manual, and it might take some time, but you find this to be the most appealing somehow. If you ask a person to make vase by hand, like a real vase, physical vase, the handmade one and the imperfect one is actually the one that's give the most satisfactions. I wish I have time or money, or to, you know, like to be creating something like this with real clay, but since I'm working digitally at home and currently in lockdown, so yeah, I just like to do this. I have to do this at home. It's random painting for the first section. You can bake this later if you want to render this out properly. Okay, you need to have a material. Already have material, and the shader, we just need to plug in the vertex color because we are painting using the vertex color. But like I said, you can use proper UV, but I like to do this, to do it this way. And I can continue vertex painting. It's quite satisfying, and you know, this with this one you can actually do a little bit more, like using sculpt, and you can add more imperfection. Maybe draw, yeah, I think just adding some kind of weirdness. This is just sculpting it, so it's not perfect, but it's, I think this is probably the most beautiful one, because it's gonna be different result for anyone, you know, trying to do this, to make something like this. Oh, I delete the solidify. I should have left the solidify, but I think this has something special about it. Sculpted by hand, so that's the name of this vase manual. Oh, we did actually start with a, you know, grease pencil, drawing the profile, similar process, and then we are resampling the profile. We revolve it. You know, we start with the grease pencil. If you are teaching this to children, I think this sculpt is a good idea, and you can always export it out to make into AR. But since this is like the version with vertex color, you need to learn how to bake this. I'm not gonna talk on that, but so if we go back to the Screw vase, and then we have the queen one. Okay, Screw vase actually have a nice shader here. I can just plug it into my manual vase. Select this, copy the material. Oops. Okay, I need to select this first, and select this, and then link, Command L, link the material. Now this vase have this crazy material. All right, so hopefully you find this useful and interesting. Let me know what you think, and so I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.